Hello. We hope you're enjoying your stay at Toshi's place.
To help you make the most of your time in Kamakura, we've prepared this sightseeing guide.
Today, we'll introduce you to the Kaburaki Kiyokata Memorial Art Museum. Welcome to Kamakura. Ready to find something really special?
Hope so.
We're thinking about this peaceful artistic retreat, a real hidden gem, tucked away from the busy streets, but still perfect for exploring from Toshi's place.
Exactly.
The quiet elegance, just stunning beauty, and a chance to feel completely transported.
That's the Kaburaki Kiyokata Memorial Art Museum, absolutely. It's the serene, elegant oasis, a place you can really dive into. And it's kind of a shortcut, actually, to understanding this delicate, emotion-rich painting style from a real master of Nihonga, traditional Japanese painting.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's more than just looking at pictures. It's like a tranquil artistic escape. You might be surprised what it reveals about, well, human emotion and Japanese culture.
I love that idea, an escape. Okay, so let's unpack this a bit. Who was this artist, Kiyokata sensei? And what makes his art, especially this emotion-rich part, so special?
Well, Kaburaki Kiyokata's story is pretty fascinating. He was a major figure in modern Nihonga, that's modern Japanese-style painting.
Okay.
Born way back in 1878 during the Meiji era, right, in Kanda, Tokyo. But here's a neat twist. He actually started his career as an illustrator.
Really? Like for newspapers?
Exactly, newspapers and magazines. So imagine going from quick sketches for the daily news to these incredibly detailed, timeless paintings.
That is quite a leap. I can almost picture him, drawing furiously for a deadline one day, then later just so meticulously applying these delicate pigments.
Yeah.
What sparked that change?
That's a great question. His mentor, Mizuno Toshikata, he came from the ukiyo-e tradition.
So, right. The woodblock prints, beautiful women, actors.
Yep, those vibrant scenes of everyday life from the Edo period. But Kiyokata himself, he famously didn't like being put in a box. He actually said something like, "I don't particularly belong to a school, but if I must be categorized, I'd prefer to be called someone who values emotion."
Wow. That says so much, doesn't it? So it wasn't just about painting what things looked like. He was digging deeper into feelings.
Precisely. He was really exploring the inner landscape, focusing on the emotions hidden beneath the surface.
Was that common back then in Nihonga? Or was he kind of breaking new ground?
Well, Japanese art always had ways of showing feeling, of course.
Yeah.
But Kiyokata, he really made that emotional depth, the inner worlds of his subjects, the main event.
Right.
In a time when maybe outward appearance or traditional stories were more common, he was a bit of a pioneer, showing that real beauty often lies in what you don't see right away, in that quiet depth. His most famous works are these incredibly graceful pictures of women, but he also painted everyday scenes, seasonal customs, that kind of thing.
That sounds like his paintings are almost like windows into people's hearts.
They really are. And what's super interesting is how connected he was to literature and theater.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he did many, many pieces inspired by writers like Higuchi Ichio and Izumi Kyoka, big names. And they themselves wrote about complex emotions, social stuff.
Can you give us some examples, pieces inspired by literature that we might see?
Oh, sure. At the museum, you'll find amazing works like Asasuzu. It captures that feeling of a cool morning, just lovely, and Grave of Miss Ichio, a really moving tribute to Higuchi Ichio. And Igori, which brings this powerful emotional story to life visually, all directly inspired. So his paintings have this double value. See, they're not just beautifully painted, they're also incredibly detailed, almost like snapshots of daily life in downtown Tokyo during the Meiji era. Real historical value there, too.
I get it. So it's like a living photograph, but painted. Not just what people looked like, but how they felt, how they lived, capturing the soul of an era.
Exactly.
It's amazing how art can do that, hold both personal feelings and a whole historical moment. So how did this museum dedicated just to him happen? And how does it let us into his work? Right, good transition. The museum's origin story is actually really heartwarming. Kiyokata moved to Kamakura in 1946. Settled in Zaimokuza first.
Okay.
Then, in 1954, he got the Order of Culture, which is a huge deal, a really high honor in Japan.
Wow.
Later, he moved to Yukinoshita, and that's where he kept painting right up until he passed away in 1972. He was 93.
93. What an incredible life dedicated to his art.
Isn't it? And after he passed, his family very generously donated everything, his art, his materials, even his house, to Kamakura City.
That's wonderful.
That led to the museum opening in 1998. And here's something really cool. Parts of his original house were actually reused when they built the museum.
No way. So you're literally walking in a space touched by his history.
You really are. It's like the spirit of his home is woven right in.
That's fantastic. So what's it like inside? Does it feel like you're, getting a peek into his private world?
It absolutely does. One of the main highlights is the reconstructed studio. It's modeled after a design by an architect Kiyokata really admired, Yoshida Isoya.
Mm-hmm.
And when you step inside, you see his personal things. His glasses, his palette, brushes, even his fountain pen and writing paper, all laid out.
Oh, wow.
It's almost like he just stepped out for a second. You can really feel his presence there.
Oh, that sounds so intimate. Like you could almost imagine him working right there. Did you ever notice a tiny detail in his sketches that changed how you saw a finished piece?
Oh, definitely. And that's another great thing. The museum has tons of his sketches, drawings, even illustrated diaries.
Diaries, too.
Yeah. And you can view them up close in these special pull-out display cases. It gives you this incredible look into how he worked, how ideas developed. You might see a little note, a quick doodle. It really adds layers.
That's amazing, seeing the thought process. And I heard the exhibitions change pretty often, so it's not the same thing every time.
That's right. They're really active. They have about 8 or 9 exhibitions each year.
Yeah.
So they show everything from his big famous pieces to stuff he did later in life, even the preparatory sketches. Themes change, seasons change. So yeah, every visit really does offer something new. You could go back again and again.
That sounds like a great reason to revisit Kamakura. Okay, so beyond looking, which sounds amazing, can visitors get more involved? Like, maybe try some painting ourselves?
Yes. That's a key question, right? How do you connect even more deeply? Well, they have excellent educational stuff, regular guided tours, public lectures, talks by the curators, all designed to help you understand Kiyokata better.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe even more exciting, they have Japanese painting workshops.
A workshop in Kamakura. We get to paint. That sounds brilliant. I'm pretty sure mine would look like... Well, never mind. But it sounds fun.
Don't worry, they're totally beginner-friendly. You get to try traditional techniques using tsuchi-enogu. Those are natural mineral pigments.
Wow.
They create this really unique, deep, subtle colors. And tsunago, that's fine metallic powder like gold or silver dust for these gorgeous, shimmery details.
Dust. Wow.
Yeah. It's a chance to actually feel the materials, see how those rich, refined colors come together. It's pretty special. Really gives you an appreciation for the craft.
That sounds incredible. A totally unique souvenir experience, literally connecting with the art form.
Yeah.
What other workshops do they have?
They also do other fun ones like scroll making, fan making, even lithograph making sometimes. Again, all beginner friendly.
Cool.
Oh, and photos. Well, you can't snap pictures everywhere inside to protect the art,
Right. Understandable.
You are welcome to take photos in the studio and the garden, which are beautiful spots for capturing memories, especially with those hydrangeas we'll talk about.
Perfect. Okay, speaking of beautiful backdrops, you mentioned hydrangeas. Here's where it gets really interesting, especially for an early summer visit, right? Tell us about the seasonal charm.
Oh, you are in for such a treat. Yes, I strongly, strongly recommend visiting during hydrangea season. That's usually mid to late June.
Okay, noted.
And here's a fun little fact. Kiyokata loved hydrangeas so much, he actually nicknamed his home Ajisai Noya,
Which means...
House of Hydrangeas.
No way. That's adorable. Shows how much he loved them. I can just picture him painting with them all around.
You really can. And as you walk towards the museum, there's this lovely stone path from the gate to the entrance. And it's just lined with hydrangeas, blues, purples, whites. They look stunning against the traditional building. It's a really beautiful welcome.
Sounds magical.
And what's neat is, because of the soft lighting in that spot, the flowers tend to bloom a bit longer there compared to other places in Kamakura.
Oh, bonus.
And if you go after it rains, the colors just pop even more. It makes the whole atmosphere even more serene. It's a super popular photo spot, and for good reason. It leaves a real impression.
That sounds absolutely enchanting. A quiet little haven of color and history. Perfect. Now, thinking about our listeners at Toshi's place, how easy is it to actually get to this hidden gem? Is it convenient?
Oh, it's incredibly convenient. Really ideal for guests at Toshi's place. The museum is easily walkable from Kamakura Station. You just wander past the busy Komachi Main Street, maybe grab a treat first.
Good plan.
And then you find it tucked away in this quiet residential area. So it's a really calm, flexible way to experience this Japanese beauty without feeling rushed. A nice contrast after the Main Street buzz.
That's perfect. A peaceful escape right nearby. Any quick practical tips like opening hours, closing days, anything like that?
Yep, definitely good to know. The museum itself is quite compact. You can see it comfortably in about an hour.
Oh, nice and manageable.
Perfect for fitting into your day. It opens at 9:00 a.m. and closes at 5:00 p.m., but last entry is at 4:30 p.m.
Got it.
Key thing. It's closed on Mondays. Unless Monday is a public holiday, then it's open and it closes the next weekday, usually Tuesday.
Okay, good to remember.
Also closed for the year-end New Year holidays. That's December 29th to January 3rd, and sometimes during exhibit changes. So just maybe check their website or schedule beforehand, especially if you're planning around those times.
Smart tip.
Oh, and if you're coming with a group, probably best to give them a heads up in advance.
Makes sense. Always good to plan a little. Are there any other sort of special things for visitors? Ways to connect with other places?
Actually, yes. Sometimes they do these really fun special programs like stamp rallies.
I like collecting stamps.
Exactly. In collaboration with other great cultural spots in Kamakura, the Museum of National Treasures, the History and Culture Museum, the Kawakita Film Museum,
Oh.
the Modern Art Annex.
Wow, that's a cool way to see more.
It really is a fun way to explore the city's art and history. And sometimes they even offer discounts if you visit wearing a kimono or yukata.
Oh, how lovely. Perfect for adding to the experience.
Definitely makes for an enriching stop on your Kamakura journey. What did you think?
We hope the rest of your stay at Toshi's place will be filled with wonderful memories. The Kaburaki Kiyokata Memorial Art Museum really is such a unique, tranquil spot in Kamakura. It offers this deeper connection, doesn't it, to Japanese art, to culture, to feeling.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a serene little oasis that invites you to slow down, feel things, step back in time, and connect with its quiet beauty.
Absolutely. And maybe think, as you step into Kaburaki Kiyokata's world, what emotions might his art stir up in you? And how might thinking about that deepen your own search for tranquility here in Kamakura? We hope you find your own moments of artistic discovery. Let the beauty of this place inspire you.